NMF TV. Silence your radio, kill your television. NMFTV.com.
Pass it to my boys Chuck Hollow and Polo. Real heads listening, not just to the intros. Knowledge of the realness, y'all should really feel this. Always down the ball, hard and y'all's witness. This here's really for the real thing. For those who've never really been bandwagon fans, listen to the real talk straight up from the stands.
I totally had an intro and I forgot it. Literally, as soon as I show myself on TV, nakalimutan ko yung intro.
Ano, na-starstruck ka? Professional mo, pare.
I totally forgot my intro. So I'll just go to our default. What's up, guys? You're watching episode 11 of From the Stands. Alam mo, feeling ko dahil wala si Carlo.
Sana trinate ka na lang ni Coach Frankie.
dapat nagmamaroon na lang ako.
Oo.
Para mas ano ako. No, alam mo, ever since nawala si Carlo, feeling ko nawalan ako ng juju. Parang there's like an imbalance. Like if we're not complete.
So kulang ako. So ganun.
I'm just saying, 3 is better than 2, pa.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like in Pitch Perfect. I mean,
no.
Or in Pentatonics.
Don't. You've been singing Ace of Base the entire pre-pro.
You want as many people as possible to make the melody feel better.
Really? That's what you went for. You forgot the intro and then went for a Pitch Perfect metaphor.
Kailan ba ako naging professional ever? Okay, we actually need your help.
Yeah.
We were talking about this offline. Kasi Carlo has been gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's been gone for 3 weeks.
And me and Polo have been holding down the fort.
Mightily.
Doing everything. Kumaga, we are we are like talking text in a game 7.
Yeah.
Odds stacked against
Si Carlo,
we are delivering.
Si Carlo si Ivan Johnson.
Correct.
Tas na foul trouble si Ivan Johnson.
So we need your help.
Yeah.
Pagbalik ni Carlo next week.
Dapat meron naman siyang pasalubong.
Oo.
Hindi pwedeng nawala siya ng 3 linggo tapos wala tayong papagawa sa kanya on cam.
Tweet us what you suggest Carlo Pamintuan should do live when he returns on From the Stands next week.
I think we need hindi siya penalty.
Hindi siya penalty. Pasalubong. Welcome back.
Welcome back performance ni Carlo Pamintuan.
Correct. Para si Jano Gibbs lang paglilipat niya sa bago niyang home.
Or otherwise known as what do you call this? May utang pa ba si Carlo sa atin? Wala naman. Wala. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so this is going to be a fun episode of From the Stands. But before we get to our actual topic, just a bit of house cleaning. I totally got that from the Basketball Jones. You please subscribe to the NMF TV Sports page channel on YouTube so that you'll be able to see all of our episodes as soon as they're uploaded. And again, you can follow us, Chuck_Araneta and Paul_Bustamante, and you can also follow Carlo_Pamintuan.
No. It's me, the real Carlo P.
Verified.
Okay.
This is gonna be a fun episode. We decided to go a bit off the rails.
Yeah.
Instead of just following like the weekly the weekly action. Because to be perfectly honest, we don't know anything. It's too early to sort of see what is going to be happening or sino ba yung magcha-champion. Because if you look at it right now, Global Port and Alaska will be in the finals because they have the best records in the PBA.
Clearly.
And clearly it's not gonna happen. So, what we decided to do...
Grabe hater ng Global Port.
Sure ka, Global Port. What we decided to do was sort of take a look at some of the key players and kumaga, what people's opinions of them are in a segment we've entitled
Iron Bagatsing tied the game.
Ooh, really? Our segment is called Overrated.
No, segment's called our rating scale.
Yeah, the rating scale.
Yeah.
The rating scale. Okay, so what we have are 3 ratings.
Yeah, 3 ratings. First is yung underrated. And then we have okay rated.
Yep.
And then we have the OA rated.
So pag underrated,
ayos lang.
Yeah.
I mean underrated. Underrated.
Hitler,
yeah.
Hitler
Underrated. Okay rated.
Okay rated. All right. All right. So we picked some players. We picked actually 1 player per team, and let's start muna with the perception that they have, whether people think he's whatever underrated, okay rated,
actually,
overrated, and then what we feel would be the correct siguro perception or rating for this player.
You know the fun thing about this?
This is completely scientific, by the way.
Yeah. It's based on pure hard facts.
Yep.
No. The fun thing about this is each person or each player can have a different perception per person.
Sure.
So parang for Chuck, one player might be OA rated. For me, okay lang siya. Pero the thing here is we're trying to get a beat of how we feel the general public at least rates the specific players that we have.
Yep.
Wala lang, it's just a fun way to basically say if we feel na medyo overhyped tong isang player na to or hindi.
Sure. Okay. Let's start big.
Start big.
Let's start with the
Literally
biggest name in the PBA. Mr. Junmar Fajardo.
Okay.
Oh, public perception muna.
You know what? I feel that Junmar Fajardo is properly rated. Properly rated.
Yep.
I think that people understand his talent and understand that he's a game-changing talent in the league. I think people know that the first MVP that he won wasn't a fluke. He backed that up.
He won a championship.
Diba? He backed it up with a championship the next season. He won the MVP. So I think he's properly rated in that sense.
But what do you think?
I think he's okay. I think he's okay rated. I think Junmar is okay rated. Except that there are a lot of holes that are coming out this season. I think there's that. Junmar isn't a player na dapat mong ninangarag all 48 minutes of the game. He's definitely the kind of player that needs some sort of balance with... Treat Junmar like an import, kumbaga. He'll still need the locals, the Marshall Lasseters, the Chris Lutz, the Arwin Santos to support him. And that's how San Miguel won a championship, by surrounding him with the right talent for him to be able to do his thing. But if you're expecting Junmar to carry your team all the way to the end without any support from everyone else, then definitely you're overrating, you're OA rating Junmar.
Okay. Ako, to be perfectly honest...
Here's the heel turn!
No, to be perfectly honest, I think... Okay, this is me hedging. Junmar Fajardo, pag All-Filipino Conference, is okay rated. He's okay rated.
Okay rated.
But, pag nasa import conference tayo, he's overrated.
OA rated.
OA rated.
Okay.
Why do I say that? I just felt like the hate of 1,000 San Miguel fans.
It's coming.
Raining
It's coming.
upon
Chuck
me.
underscore Araneta.
No, okay.
I think you should there. Chuck underscore Araneta.
Thanks, Pico, for for changing the camera angle to go to me.
I think Pico should give the camera to Chuck for this one.
No. The only reason why I say that the Junmar Fajardo is slightly OA rated, slightly OA rated, reverse, is because he turns into a good stats on a bad team player. Pagdating natin sa import conference. And I think na the biggest strength that he has, which is just his massive
sheer
size,
dominance.
His size and his ability to just inhale rebounds. I mean, it sort of gets negated when you get to import conferences. I mean, sure, he still has the gaudy stats. He still has the 15 and 12. But don't you feel like pag may imports na hindi na siya nakakaposte, hindi na siya nakaka-back to the basket, he gets a lot of his points on rebounds, on offensive rebounds and putbacks, and a lot of run fast break layups. And of course, that's a great thing, but he's not a dominant player in the import conferences. And the thing that makes Junmar Fajardo great is that despite not being a star player, despite not being the best player on the floor pag imports, he's still able to contribute a lot. I just think that parang we need to sort of I still think that there's like 1 or 2 levels that Junmar Fajardo can evolve to. It's being a bit more aggressive in the post. It's being able to sort of
defend the pick and roll.
Yeah, to defend the pick and roll and to defend imports as well, diba? So right now in his 3rd year in the PBA, I would say na at this point, when with imports, OA rated siya. Pero pagbalik natin sa All Filipino next season is going to be properly.
Okay, I think just to add to your point, I think PBA teams should also start thinking of imports differently. Kasi we've gotten to the to the point now we have game-changing players on some of the teams. Greg Slaughter, Junmar Fajardo, these players. Even Jason Castro, to an extent. He's a game-changing player and these guys need the ball. These guys need the touches. Sometimes kasi yung perception ng getting an import, both Asian or the African-American imports, minsan kasi naka-cloud ng idea na dapat we have to get the most dominant or the best import. But I think now we're seeing that complementary players that fit into a team or fit into a system works.
Yeah.
You can actually work around it. Think of, this is a bad example, but think of Kia. They're getting imports that they need. They got Taiwanese
Ramos.
import that can shoot.
Si Jeff,
Jet Chang. And then they got Hamadi Njai, who's a 7-foot import na works around their system of having one big and then 4 shooters. So parang ganun dapat yung thing, especially with the guy like Junmar Fajardo. Kailangan supportahan mo talaga.
I guess tricky lang kasi kay Junmar because San Miguel is getting imports that aren't big men. So they're, so they're expecting Fajardo to defend the imports of the other teams who are actually big men. So he's going to have to go up against ito Njai. Last season, it was PJ Ramos who basically murdered him when they played against Kia, diba? So, I mean, I say he's overrated, but it's not necessarily his fault. It's because SMB is getting an import like AZ Reed na who's not gonna defend.
Pero lose-lose kapag San Miguel ka dun. If you get another big guy, then you clog the lane for Fajardo.
Well, at least you can hide Fajardo and you don't have to defend an import. I mean, yeah.
Lose-lose situation.
Okay. Oh, next player. For rain or shine. Let's go with Jeff Chan. I feel like right now, Jeff Chan is... Where do you think he is right now? I think people are starting to sort of OA rate Jeff Chan.
Ako rin. I kind of feel Jeff Chan is OA rated. I mean, I think this is consensus. I think because of the exposure he got in Gilas.
Yeah, they think
that he's a superstar.
Yeah,
but in reality, Jeff is a wonderful role player. He's a great glue guy. But if you feel na Jeff Chan is the kind of player you can build your team around.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not
He's not Alan Kaidik.
Exactly.
He's not.
I think, yun, I guess we both agree that Jeff Chan is slightly OA rated because of his Gilas exposure.
Yeah. And I think I agree. He's a bit OA rated right now. And here's the thing. Jeff Chan has not been healthy in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And, Jeff Chan, he could have swung the final series versus Tok if he was like healthy the entire season. But right now, you can't rely on Jeff Chan for a long stretch.
Hindi pwedeng papasok mo lang siya panggulat or ipapasok mo lang siya as a designated shooter. I think Jeff Chan works best if he's in the system Rainer Chan is playing.
Yep. So Jeff Chan is a bit, he's OA rated right now.
But you know what's underrated? Shooters in the PBA. I don't think we fully appreciate just pure shooters in the PBA. And we've mentioned this before. If you count the number of pure shooters in the PBA, you can probably count them with one hand. Marshall Lassiter, Jeff Chan,
Sunday Salvacion,
Don Ontiveros,
Don J. Buenafe,
Mark Mangapagal. Alam mo yun? So parang, I think the PBA still really needs to get to that level wherein we have floor spacers in each team. And that's an important aspect when you're dealing with players like Junmar Fajardo and Greg Slaughter. That's one of the biggest things na pagkukulang ng Ginebra, in my opinion, is a knockdown shooter that's a threat to pull away a defender on the same side that Greg Slaughter's playing at.
Yeah.
And that's what Jeff Chan brings.
Even you look at a team like Alaska, I mean, sometimes they have lineups with Eximiniano, Banchero, Abueva, Tony De La Cruz.
So lang ang sikip, no?
Yeah, sikip. Then the import. I mean, it solves one problem. Like it helps out your defense, but you're sacrificing a lot on offense. Yeah. And that's why it's kind of surprising that a player there's no demand for a player like Sunday Salvacion. I mean, he's stuck on a bench, for whatever team. I think for Blackwater right now, diba? So like a team like the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA with like Kyle Korver, they were able to resuscitate his career because they know that he is a floor spacer. The thing is, you need a coach who's willing to buy in and to take a risk on those types of players. Yeah. Diba? So yeah, I totally agree with you. What makes rain or shine really dangerous is when Jeff Chan is on.
All right.
That's when they're impossible to beat talaga. Okay, let's move on to Barangay Ginebra.
Okay.
Let's talk about Chris Ellis.
Okay. I'll start. I think Chris Ellis is okay rated.
Oh.
Yeah. And here's why. At the start of his career, Chris Ellis was OA rated. People had this vision of Chris Ellis being this high-flying superstar swingman that Ginebra drafted fourth. But in reality, Chris Ellis is a solid working piece at his very best.
Sure.
Chris Ellis is a finisher on the fast break. His shooting hasn't improved ever since he got to the league. His defense slightly improved. Yes, he's not getting as lost on defense pag man-to-man. But sometimes, nawawala pa rin yan when he's playing off the ball. So parang, I feel that people are realizing the faults of Chris Ellis.
So parang they're starting to just accept him for
for
like what
yeah.
this kung ano talaga siya ngayon.
Okay, number one, I wouldn't how do you say, concentrate Chris Ellis into just being another pretty face. I mean, the guy can be a solid player.
Sure.
And he's maybe on a different team, he might actually break out. But I feel in Ginebra, there are a lot of faults that get accentuated, especially when hindi siya makaperform. His shooting gets called out. His defense can get called out. So right now, Chris Ellis is, for me, okay rated because people realize what he really is.
Is it safe to say that Chris Ellis is the most frustrating player of Ginebra? Na parang
I think so.
Like you look at this guy and you think, why isn't he?
You know what I mean?
You know,
in my head kasi, you know who Chris Ellis should be? Chris Ellis should be closer to Gabe Norwood, Matt Ganuela's roster, Jared Dillinger, in that respect.
That kind of guy.
Yung glue guy, defender, can make plays. But in reality, Chris Ellis is an athletic guy who can finish the breaks. I don't think we're getting... If he develops a jumper, great. But anything past that's who he is. And I don't think nasa genes niya yung basketball IQ similar to Matt Ganuela's roster, Gabe Norwood.
Okay. Let's move on. Let's go to Kia. Let's talk about LA Revilla. LA Revilla, okay rated, OA rated, underrated?
Ikaw?
LA Revilla.
Di ba OA rated?
Medyo OA rated.
OA rated.
I think he's a bit OA rated. And why do we say this? Because it's Kia.
Yeah.
Because it's Kia. But let's give the man his props. He has had some big moments in the PBA when no one expected him to have those type of moments. He's had like double-digit scoring. He's had a lot of assists. He's had a lot of rebounds as well. And you know, I'm very happy that LA Revilla has had these moments in the PBA. But the thing is, he did all of that with a Peter John Ramos taking all of the attention and sucking in every single defense of the other team.
Yeah, I think that's it. LA Revilla, the numbers or the performance will fool you. And I agree. He's had this moment. He hit clutch shots, yes, but you have to kind of give some credit, or even a lot of credit for LA Revilla being that open to a 7'2" monster in PJ Ramos in the ano. And let's be honest, sino bang kaaway ni LA Revilla for the starting point guard position?
Yeah.
Injured pa nga eh. Yung kaaway niya. Injured yung torn rotator cuff yung kaaway niya for the start. BC.
Oh,
BC. So yung
totally forgot Manny Pacquiao.
Exactly, right? Starting point guard. Then that's the point. I think LA Revilla is getting his props because he's playing for Kia.
And just to frame this properly, we say OA rated in the sense na he's not yet on the level of LA, of Jason Castro, of Paul Lee, right? But like for who he is in Kia, good for him. Like good for LA Revilla. Pero we can't put him yet on the pedestal of...
Eto na lang. For as well, okay, last conference, LA Revilla played better than JV Casio. Would you agree? No. I mean, numbers-wise. Yeah, you'd agree, no? But Alaska would still not trade.
Yeah, would you pick LA Revilla
over JV Casio? Yun lang yung point namin.
That's fair. So, respect to LA Revilla.
I mean, if he continues to get better, then why not, diba?
Just kukuha niyo naman siya. Just a little bit OA rated. Okay? Okay, moving on. Let's go to Jonas Villanueva. Okay, Jonas Villanueva, just to frame this properly, is a guy that stat nerds love.
Yeah.
The analytics guys love him.
Yeah.
Websites like Humble Bola, our friend Joe De Leon has written at length, you know, of his affinity for Jonas Villanueva, and for good reason, because when this guy is healthy, he is sneakily one of the best point guards in the PBA.
Yeah.
So currently he's underrated. Tama.
I think he's underrated.
He's underrated.
Flying under the radar.
This guy, I think it has to do with injuries as well, because he's never been able to sort of put it together for a long time. But Jonas Villanueva currently is underrated, and even, like, my opinion, he's underrated as well. He's a guy who people should be talking about more in PBA.
You know what Jonas Villanueva is? Jonas Villanueva is a glue point guard. He's the kind of point guard that has solid length at that position. Okay. He's got solid shooting. He's got playmaking. He can attack the basket. He's not gonna scream out at you like Jason Castro or Paul Lee in terms of one particular skill. He's not even gonna be comparable to JV Casio in terms of shooting. But Jonas Villanueva will get things done. And I feel na in the scheme of NLEX, which is a team that's really not going to get talked about a lot in media, he's lost in the shuffle. You talk about the imports a lot. You talk about the Al Thornton steals a lot of the spotlight, or Asi Taulava steals a lot of the spotlight. And sometimes you forget that all of this happens because Jonas Villanueva can get the ball where it needs to be.
Yep. And he is an underrated shooter. When Jonas Villanueva gets the ball, you guys...
You have to remember that Jonas Villanueva was a finals MVP for San Miguel.
Yeah, it's been a long time since
It's been a long... Yeah, pero in terms of skills, he's got it.
Yep. Jonas Villanueva definitely underrated in the PBA. And maybe it's also because he's in one of the most hard-to-watch teams. And like, it's not fun to watch NLEX basketball.
It's a chore to watch NLEX. It's a chore to watch.
I mean, this guy, for what he is, if you put him on a team like Ginebra or whatever, he's gonna get his respect. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about Meralco. Jared Dillinger. It feels like it's been a long time since we last watched Jared Dillinger play basketball.
I feel like it's been a long time since we last talked about Jared Dillinger.
It's been a while.
Ikaw? Okay, I'm on the fence between okay rated and underrated, actually.
Oh, okay.
But I think Jared Dillinger right now is okay rated in the sense that
nakalimutan na natin yung laro niya.
Yeah, people aren't talking about him a lot, but that's also because he hasn't been doing much. He's been injured for quite some time. He's been in and out of the lineup, and what he brings to the table, you already know. He's one of the best glue guys in the league, and he's a guy that will really drive this Meralco offense. I feel that when it started, when we were talking about Meralco as having Sean Anthony, Jared Dillinger, Cliff Hodge on one team, we had grand visions of it being like this gritty run and gun,
death fast break
team, but it hasn't worked out that way. Norman Black's really slowed down the pace of the team and has gotten Gary David back into the mix. Where Jared Dillinger fits into that, sometimes he does on some games, sometimes he doesn't. So I think we've accepted the fact that Jared Dillinger is far from his talk and text Daredevil days. But give him to a team that can use him. Alaska, for example, definitely can use a guy like Jared Dillinger to if you put
not
Jared,
be Tony De La Cruz.
Exactly, to not be Tony De La Cruz. That's where he is.
Oh.
And in that regard, you can actually give him an underrated.
I will give Jared Dillinger like whatever rating he wants kung nasa Alaska siya.
Yeah, he can have the entire rating.
Just saying. Okay, let's move on. Got Chris Ellis. This is gonna be fun. Someone who's near and dear to my heart, Mr. JV Casio of the Alaska Aces. Overrated, underrated, okay rated.
OA rated. OA rated. JV Casio's OA rated.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Who's more OA rated?
Elite Northwest. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
You knew I was
I
going
knew you
there.
were gonna go there.
You knew I was
If we're
going
talking
there.
about
Before we even talk
If we're talking about OA rated, in terms of being OA rated, nandito si JV, OA rated si LA. I won't lie about that.
Can we just shout out LA Revilla now? While we just said he's a bit OA rated, he's just put Kia up versus Ginebra.
Good job!
82 to 81. Good job from the stands. Hashtag Mamaru. Going back to JV Casio, he is OA rated. I think the perfect example of his OA ratedness was during the finals. Everyone was saying that as soon as JV Casio gets going, Alaska is going to win that series.
But he never got.
No, he scored a few points. They still lost, and like if you think about it, the broad strokes, he never got to that point. So ngayon, the question is, when? I don't even think the question is if it's when will JV Casio go back to being one of the deadliest shooters, not just by reputation in the PBA.
I think yung funny part was, remember a couple of years back, if you follow their podcast for a couple of years, we've been discussing this JV Casio Elitenary thing ever since they pretty much got traded for each other. And Chuck and I have gone through diverging roads, me actually calling JV a shooting guard. And then it got to the point where I accepted JV Casio as one of the top point guards in the league, alongside Elitenor, Mark Baroka, Jason Castro. Right now, parang he's crumbled under that. I mean, when you have Jason Castro further elevating his game, when you have Paul Lee, who was taken after JV Casio, further elevating his game, you have JV regressing. And that's why I feel na JV Casio is OA rated. We were talking about him in that stratosphere already. And he couldn't live up to it.
Sure. But how many point guards would you take over JV Casio? It's a handful, right?
It's only a handful. I mean, it's only a handful. But for Alaska to be the championship team that they need him to be
Powerade JV Casio.
Yeah, exactly. On the level
because that guy was scary.
They need him to be number one pick JV Casio.
Cool. Okay. Because right now, Paulie is just murdering that comparison.
Oh, yeah. Between the two of them.
That's rough. Okay. Let's move on. Let's go through them a bit faster. Terence Romeo. Properly rated.
People know what...
He's okay rated.
He's okay rated. People know what they're getting with Terence Romeo. They're getting a chucker, an ISO player.
And when it's on, he's the best. He's the most fun player to watch. But when it's off, you just know that your team is going to win. Because Romeo's going to try to shoot himself
and
out.
I think for his entire career, ever since college, Terence Romeo has been okay rated. There was never a point wherein he was OA rated or underrated. He's always been this guy with the faults that he is.
Sure. Okay. Barako Bull, JC Intal. This guy's interesting.
People are starting to overrate JC. Right? People are starting to overrate JC.
Isn't it for the right reasons? Because he's playing really well?
No. I'm not saying he's OA rated. People are starting to talk about JC Intal. I don't think he's OA rated. I think he's finally getting the proper rating that he should. So I think he's okay rated.
Okay, this is interesting because like a few years ago, you wrote an article on Intal for Slam.
Yeah.
As soon as you wrote it, he goes back to being like whatever he was. For Pure Foods, diba?
No. This was with Barako.
Yeah, with Barako Bull. Then, so, hindi ko lang magets kasi kay Intal. How do you have a renaissance at like, 31 years old? Is this something that's sustainable? Or is this just, good stats on a bad team player?
You know what, with JC, I think it's a mix of both. I argued this on Twitter the other day that out of the last eight PBA MVPs, 5 of them won the MVP after they were 30.
Okay.
So, being on the wrong side of 30 is not a bad thing. Especially if you're gonna be stuck in Barako Bull like JC Intal. He's making the most of what he's got. I mean, this guy was stuck in a bad situation for some teams. Like, he was being used as a small forward in Pure Foods with guys like PJ, with guys like James Yap around him. So, essentially, parang naging defensive athletic wing na lang siya doon. But in reality, JC Intal, if you can create an offense around him, if you can give him the ball and have him create his own offense, will be able to do that. He showed that in Ateneo. Unfortunately, hasn't showed that much in the PBA. He's okay rated for me. But if we start getting press marks, Barako starts winning more, and he crumbles under that pressure, then pretty soon.
I think it's the simple fact that people are starting to talk about Intel again. That makes him just okay rated. Because we know that he's a very talented player.
Yeah.
The question is it sustainable, and is he going to be consistent with this kind of output? Diba? Kasi, we've seen him like become like a flash in the pan, then all of a sudden figure it out on another team, blah, blah, blah. And who knows, he might be going to another team very soon.
Ginebra.
Can't get Sol Mercado and Intel the same conference. It's obvious na.
Okay. Next conference then.
Next conference.
Real Cervantes for Blackwater. Real Cervantes is OA rated. They traded Alex Nuiles for Real Cervantes. OA rated.
Okay, let's move on. Shout out to Real Cervantes. Talk and text. Last two. We have our last two. Talk and text. Larry Funashare. Ooh, Larry Funashare. Where do you stand on the Gilas stalwart Larry Funashare? I love Larry. He's becoming a bit OA rated. Agree, disagree?
I disagree. I think Larry's just okay rated. Okay, for most of his career, Larry was underrated. We can both agree on that.
Yes.
After Gilas, I think he's getting his minutes, he's getting his shots and whatever, but I think age, injuries have gotten the better of him. People understand this, people know this, but in the last finals, Larry was showing up. Larry showed up again. And that's why he's okay rated. Larry is exactly what Talk and Text needs him to be. They never built a system around him. They never ran an offense around him. So, feeling ko people understand what Larry Funashare brings to the table.
I was waiting for Larry Funashare to have a moment the entire finals. And, it just didn't come. I mean, and the good thing is he's on a wonderful team. So, a lot of his shortcomings, a lot of the moments that he did not deliver on were sort of covered by more talented teams. That's the only reason why I feel like he's a bit OA rated right now. Because I'm still in the mode na kapag si Larry Funashare pumukol from sa tres, sure na papasok yan. Or like he's going to be a lockdown defender. I mean, he still has one of the best basketball IQs in the PBA. He knows...
Pero he's lost a step.
He, for some reason, his shooting has fallen off a cliff.
So, in the sense, parang siyang, you're treating him in the same case as JV?
I think so. I'm waiting for when or if... Actually now
in JV, in Larry's case,
it's if he's going to be going back to vintage Larry Funashare. The thing is, the problem, because he's going up against a lot of competition for that slot. I mean... Especially
with Matt Ganuelas
is waiting for him, and Kevin Alas is waiting to take that position. Diba? So the question is, how long pa does Larry Funashare have, to hold on to that starting small forward or shooting guard position, diba? So right now, for me, he's a bit OA rated. I think he's a bit OA rated. Okay, finally, our last player on the docket. Star Hotshots shooting guard, Peter June Simon.
Underrated. Underrated for me. And here's my take on it. I think PJ should be getting what James is getting.
Oh.
I think PJ should be... I think the Pure Food should start transitioning from James into PJ already. And that's something that I've already been thinking of the past 4 or 5 conferences. When James wasn't healthy, I've already thought of that. Now that he's healthy, now that James is healthy again, I'm still thinking that the next move, the next evolution for Pure Food should be PJ manning whatever it is James is doing. And then you get someone like Malyari or Maliksi taking that role of PJ. I feel that's why PJ is underrated, because we're still looking at PJ in the shadows of James Yap. And it's crazy to think that way, but sobrang laki ng shadow ni James Yap na yan eh. I don't think PJ will ever overcome or will ever surpass what James Yap is or what James Yap was to Pure Foods. But in terms of basketball, I think he can somewhat contribute more now than James.
Okay. For me, he's in between properly rated and OA rated. Because slowly but surely, PJ Simon is becoming a star by, again, slowly but surely, is becoming a star by reputation and by name. But he still has it. Like if it's a big game, if he's in the flow of the game, Peter Jun Simon will still be able to deliver. But I feel like it's too difficult for him to be able to do that on a consistent basis right now. So yeah, for me right now he's okay rated. But you know, if you know, a few more conferences or a few more games of not delivering in the clutch, and maybe even if Pure Foods doesn't win a championship or go to the finals this year, this conference, he might be a bit OA rated already. Because Alex Malyari is coming for that slot.
Maliksi.
And Alain Maliksi as well. Those guys, you know, are going for that off the bench, can be a starter position that Peter Jun Simon currently
has held down.
holds, for the past decade in the PBA. That's gonna do it for our segment of okay rated, underrated, and
OA rated.
OA rated.
Hashtag Mamaru.
Hashtag the Mamaru
Bale, for
edition.
30 minutes nagmamaru lang kami.
So if you guys agree with our picks, do let us know. And I'm sure you guys disagree with a lot of them. So please let us know as well on Twitter. Chuck_Araneta and Polo_Bustamante. I'm sure you guys are going to share your opinions with us. And we are looking forward to reading it. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, it's time to make the difficult choices.
Oh no!
The impossible decisions to make. It's the second coming of Max Trade Release, the FTS Fam Edition. Keep it here, guys. You are still watching or listening to From the Stands.
What do you think is ailing local football?
Well, politics.
Should athletes be endorsers?
Yes, why not?
Why did you refuse to be the Ascal's head coach countless times?
I've been there, done that. Too much politics, like I said. Like I posted one time a few days ago, coaching is a thankless job. With what's happening with Michael Weiss, we talked about it already before, personally, one-on-one, and I said, it happens. And I said, you should know that because you worked also somewhere in other countries as well. There's no such thing as a permanent job in coaching, in any sport.
Why do you say thankless?
Well, you're only as good as the wins.
And then that's it.
Plus, of course, there are other factors like disrespect, honor, honesty, and all of this. Because you're just a coach, you're not the manager. You're not the association, you're not the institution. So you, as a coach, you're just an employee. So you're as good only as the wins that you have.
Gusto ko lang i-point out that we got the fastest feedback ever. Our producer,
From
Pico,
our main man, Pico Tamayo.
Pico Tamayo,
Shout out to Pico.
has said that Junmar is not OA rated.
If this is a sign of things to come, then.
I think well, you got traded last week by Coach Frankie. Now our producer, you know, basically disagrees with you.
Let me just fix two things, okay? Junior Fardo, OA rated pag may imports.
Okay.
And number two, Eli Revilla, kung nandyan si Manny Pacquiao, he is underrated.
Yeah.
Like, he is the best point guard in Asia. If Manny Pacquiao is present, because as we're watching, he is single-handedly saving Kia and winning this game against Ginebra. Okay? So let's move on to, again, as I said, the impossible choices. The ones that will keep us up all night and will keep us second-guessing till forever. This is part 2 of the Max Trade Release of From the Stands. This time, we picked the best that you guys sent in. You guys are going to make this impossibly difficult for us. So what the hell?
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Let's start, Polo. You have the list. Take us through it.
Okay. From Twitter handle niya, @mcoolblue. He's making us decide Slaughter, Ian Sanggalang, Raymond Almazan.
Slaughter, Ian Sanggalang, Raymond Almazan.
Okay, I'll start. You max
Slaughter.
Greg Slaughter. You trade Ian Sanggalang. And in as much as he's improved, I'm sorry, but you release rock and roll.
You're wrong.
Wow, I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay, sige. Wait. For the
wrong.
record, you guys crucified me the last time I maxed Ian Sangalang. How am I wrong?
Because Almazan has done amazing stuff since that episode.
Okay.
I would max Slaughter. I would trade Sangalang and I would trade Almazan and I would release Ian Sangalang.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm sold on.
Okay, we're clear that Greg Slaughter is the best among the three. That's why we max him.
Yeah. I think it just depends on what you want. Because for me, I want a defensive big who can guard centers and power forwards and is quietly developing a funky outside shot.
Okay, I'm in for Ian Sangalang because I think that his basketball IQ, especially within that system of Pure Foods, works very well.
Okay.
And I think Raymond, all props to Raymond Almazan. He's improved tremendously from the last time we did this segment. But I still value Ian Sangalang's basketball IQ and intelligent offense more than Raymond's motor and funky outside shot.
Yeah, I still I love defense. So I'm going with Raymond Almazan.
Okay, sige. Keeping in with Pure Foods, ito. Melton, Malyari, Maliksi.
Melton, Malyari, Maliksi.
This was from Richardson Chan.
Max, Maliksi. Trade Malyari, release Melton.
Woo! Flip na naman tayo dun. Ako, Max Maliksi. We agree on that. Maliksi can be the second coming of Peter Jun Simon. Yep. We've mentioned that earlier. I feel that...
You like Malyari more than Melton? Sorry, you like Melton more
I
than
like Melton more
really?
than Malyari. I think that Melton has shown enough of himself in running that point guard position. Feeling ko kasi with Malyari, he's a tweener. I can't really find his position. And that's what makes him so off to me. That he's a supposed playmaker, but he sometimes really does dumb stuff on the court. His shot is on and off, and then defensively he's very solid, but just like Chris Ellis, nawawala rin siya. So in terms of Melton, I know what Melton brings. Melton's that change of pace guard off the bench.
But aren't you worried that he's been buried on the bench of Pure Foods, or is it because he's playing behind Baroka?
He's playing behind Baroka.
I don't know. I like Malyari, but every time I watch a Star Hot Shots game, Malyari always does some cool stuff.
All right.
And he has size. I mean, he's a work in progress, but I think he has bigger upside than Justin Melton.
All
so
right.
yeah, I like Malyari.
Okay. This one's specifically for you, Chuck, from Daniel Lim. Banchero, Hazul, Ping, Exemeniano.
Woo! Alaska to. Sino to? Banchero?
Hazul, Ping, Exemeniano.
Max Banchero.
Clearly.
You trade RG Azul and you release Ping Exemeniano. That's hard. Mahirap yung choice between...
Ako flip ko. I'd rather have Ping Exemeniano than RG Hazul.
Why? This is weird coming from me.
Yeah. It's so weird that you didn't release Ping X. It's so weird.
The only reason why because I was gonna say na like Azul has a skill na hindi ma-replicate ni Exemeniano, but at the same time, Ping has the exact same thing.
Exactly.
Diba?
Ping has defense.
So again, it's a matter of taste. I think lang kasi for Alaska, there's more of a need for... Pero hindi rin kasi meron ka namang Banchero.
Enjoy.
No, I'd still keep Hazul over Ping Exemeniano.
Okay. Sige. Hindi ko nasasagutin yun. Sa'yo na yun.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Akalain mo yan?
Oo nga, nagulat nga ako.
Akalain mo yan?
Mamaya na tayo dun sa juicy stuff. Let's start with...
And Azul has been playing well lately. He's been playing well. He's embraced the role as like the second or third guard off the bench. And he's much better shooting guard than he is a point guard.
Stop talking yourself into this decision.
It's hard.
You made this decision. I'm not disputing it.
Okay.
Sige. Eto. This was a solid choice from Francis de Mesa. Best, in terms of sixth men, Jeff Carriaso, Rodney, and PJ Simon.
Jeff Carriaso, Rodney, sixth men,
Yeah,
max
sixth
trade
men.
release.
I think...
Can I be biased?
Go.
Max Jeff Carriazo.
Max Jeff Carriazo. You Max Jeff Carriazo. And Jeff Carriazo,
But you can make a case for PJ Simon to Max.
No, but Jeff Carriazo, at the height of his career, was in BPC MVP contention.
Sure.
At the height of his career. And, you know, that's something that I don't think PJ will reach ever. I don't think PJ will reach MVP contention ever. Yung dalawa. Ako, I'd release PJ. Yeah. I'd release PJ.
Wow!
Rodney Santos. Okay. Rodney, okay. Hear me out.
I was gonna go release Rodney Santos.
No. Hear me out.
Wow.
Rodney Santos, back then, man,
He was a
this guy
killer.
this guy was a killer. I mean, this guy did everything well for Pure Foods. And he was the guy, in my memory, in my recollection, pamatay sunog ng
for
Alaska. Sure. Sobrang pamatay sunog siya. When they were making a run, he'd lock down Jolas. He'd be the one defending Jolas. He'd be the one to, you know, be the only guy that can actually get to the basket. And that's, I don't know, I guess it's by reputation that I trade Rodney. That I value Rodney over.
If we're talking about Prime Simon, this guy is a nightmare. And here's the thing, like...
Sige.
Hindi ko alam, baka ano lang talaga ako, recency bias. Because there are times talaga when PJ Simon is unguardable.
I've watched that against Ginebra.
Yeah.
When he torched us in that game.
You know what, I need to know. Here's the thing. I think right now, I'd still release Rodney Santos, but I think I need to watch more video of Rodney Santos to sort of refresh my memory. Because at the time, syempre, nakatutok ako kay Jolas siya kay Johnny A. Maybe I underrated Rodney Santos a bit, but yeah, for now I think I'd trade Simon rather than release Rodney Santos.
Okay.
But that's hard,
right?
Wow. Okay.
Okay, ito.
Why do we keep playing this game?
I know, right?
Why do you guys do this to us, man?
This one's solid. This one's solid. From Lowy, yung maraming E.
Yeah.
Yung maraming E. And you like this. Norwood, Jared Dillinger, Matt Ganuelas. I still go back to this. Norwood, I'd still max Norwood. I'd still max Norwood.
You're wrong. You're wrong. I just don't.
Norwood's playing. Norwood at his age right now is actually still improving. And
what?
He's developed an outside shot. Something he hasn't had much of before. I'd trade Matt Ganuelas roster, and as much as I hate it, I'd release Jared Dillinger.
Max. I'd max. Sobrang gulo natin.
Sobrang gulo na.
I would max any day Matt Ganuelas roster.
Wow, you really love this guy.
This guy, man. This guy is the future of Gilas. He's the future of Talk and Text.
Wow.
I am all in with Matt Ganuelas roster. He can dribble, he can pass, he can defend. He's going to shoot. He's going to learn how to shoot. Because it's not there yet. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most athletic players in the PBA.
Okay.
And
what does Matt Ganuelas roster do better than Gabe Norwood?
He's just bigger, he's just faster, he's just stronger.
So you're saying he's like the evolution of Gabe
exactly.
Norwood? Alright.
He's just bigger, faster,
I just
stronger.
feel Gabe Norwood...
He's Chris Benoit.
Evolution. Sige. Go. Tuloy mo. Gusto ko to.
Oh my God. No. I went somewhere really dark. I was gonna say Chris Benoit and Bret Hart eh.
No. Carlo would crucify you if you were here.
Let's just say that Matt Ganuelas' roster is really good. It's compared Ganuelas' roster to Chris Benoit.
That's awful, dude.
Awful. He's I don't know. Like, he's Brock Lesnar and Norwood is someone who's not Brock Lesnar. Whatever. Okay, next. I just really like Ganuelas' roster. He's my guy.
Okay, this one. Battle of NBA superstars. Alex Compton, John Ferriols, and Don Hontevest. We're framing it in the NBA, In the NBA, in their time in the NBA. Yung Max Compton, right? Max Compton. Compton brings you championships. Back then, Compton was freaking...
Compton was freaking crazy,
man. That guy was like like the super duper
Heart and soul.
sobra of
Everything you wanted in a teammate, Alex Compton.
and not just of the team,
Yeah.
of the entire NBA.
For sure.
Alex Compton was the face
He
of
is
the
the
NBA.
Jowo of the PBA.
Of the NBA.
Yeah.
I
Of the NBA,
agree.
sorry.
I agree. You
You trade Don, right?
No!
You trade
John Ferriols!
Ferriols? Really?
Ferriols! Big man in the 90s.
I just
NBA.
always thought na, I mean, you had Romela Ducol.
Ah, okay, fine. Get
I mean, like in terms of players.
Okay, let's take out Ferriols. Adukol.
Oh,
Adukol, Compton, Dondon. Sorry, I just improved on Chris Lucas's max
okay.
rate.
Max Compton. No, you know what? I'm gonna make completely ano here. Max Adukol.
I still max
Trade
Compton.
Compton. Release Don Ontiveros.
Okay, I still max Compton. I stand by everything what I said. You trade Romela Ducol and then you release Don.
It's so sad that we saw a past his prime Romela Ducol
Oh
in
yeah,
PBA.
in
No?
him,
Sayang.
yeah,
Sayang.
Because I'll admit to this, for a few years, I followed the NBA and I really, really enjoyed the NBA.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the regionality of it. I enjoyed how...
May NBA vibe talaga.
Oo,
yun.
at saka how different it was from the PBA, especially in yung mga dark ages ng PBA. But, man, that NBA was fun.
Romela Ducol's my guy.
Okay.
I love big men.
Yeah, clearly. Oh, last two.
Last two. Last two na.
Last two.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Last three. Last three. Oh, ito. Pablo, Espino. Victor Pablo, Dennis Espino, Bong Hawkins.
Oh my God. You changed something there.
No, I didn't.
Who gave that? Who gave
Chris
that?
Lucas.
So, battle of the 90s power forwards. Sino?
Espino, Vic Pablo, Bong Hawkins. I'd max Dennis Espino.
I'd max Bong Hawkins.
Homer! I'd max Dennis Espino. Dennis Espino, for me, is the most talented of the three. Dennis Espino had the most post moves. Dennis Espino was awesome. Awesome inside presence. And, in my opinion, actually underrated.
Okay. Joe Devance is our generation's Bong Hawkins, right?
That's true.
Who is our generation's Dennis Espino? Who's the closest? Like a 8
RDO.
points, 10 No.
Hindi naman 8 points, 10 rebounds in Dennis. Grabe.
12 and 10. 12 and 10.
Grabe.
12 and 10. He's not RDO. Walang tira si Espino sa labas.
Hindi, pero yung post moves.
Okay.
And even RDO is underrated in that
Oh
regard.
yeah, he's grossly underrated. There has to be a better comparison to Dennis Espino.
Don't put me on the spot. I
Yeah.
think of that better comparison. Okay. Max Dennis Espino, trade Bong Hawkins, release
Even
Victor
if
Pablo.
Bong Hawkins is a proven winner, and
Bong Hawkins is a proven winner. Bong Hawkins is Robert Torrey.
no, it's not.
No. You have Shaq and
Bong
you have
Hawkins
Kobe.
is Lamar Odom.
Oh, fine. Bong Hawkins is Lamar Odom. You have Pau Gasol, you have Kobe.
Yeah, okay, but you're saying that Espino's like he can be your power forward for the next 15 years. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Yeah, you sold me. You swayed me.
Okay. So, pareho tayo.
Espino, Max, Bong, trade, Victor
Release
Pablo. Yeah.
Alright, sige. Last two.
This is hard,
It gets interesting.
This is hard.
Junmar Fajardo, Prime Asi Taulava, Prime Eric Menk. This one's from Mac Monilla.
Oh, God.
Junmar Fajardo, Prime Asi Taulava, and Prime Eric Menk. I'd max Junmar Fajardo.
I'd max Asi.
Okay, wait. Prime Asi. Shock.
Prime Asi, man.
Prime Asi. Okay, thing is, have we seen Prime Junmar?
No, we haven't.
So Junmar now.
Yeah. 2015
Okay,
Junmar.
no, Prime Asi. Prime Asi.
May level pa si Junmar.
Yeah. Okay.
levels
When we
pa eh.
see Junmar's prime, then I can put him over. But Prime Asi was freaking stoppable.
And he's a bit underrated now.
True.
He's a bit underrated. I think we've forgotten just how scary Asi Taulava with the dreadlocks, the blonde dreadlocks, and then the curl things, whatever.
You know what Asi was underrated at? Defensively. Yeah. I think Asi defensively, up to now, Asi might still be a little bit better defensively than Junmar Fajardo.
You max Asi Taulava, you trade Junmar
Fajardo. You release Eric.
Let's be clear. You max Prime Asi.
Yeah,
you trade 2015 Junmar Fajardo and you release Prime
Eric Menk.
But man, Prime Eric Menk.
Prime Eric Menk was solid.
Don't you
Nah.
trade?
No. You can't. I can't put Junmar
Prime.
over Prime Eric Meng. I think Junmar still beats out Prime Eric Meng. Eric Meng was a hard worker. Eric Meng did his job. Eric Meng was his best, like, parang David Robinson, kumbaga.
Yep.
Okay.
Last one?
Last one.
This is the hardest.
This is the hardest. From Ranz Calderon. Prime Johnny A. You know where this is going, right? Prime Jimmy Alapag. Prime Robert Jaworski. Prime. Okay, to be fair, we did not watch Prime Robert Jaworski.
Do you see my eye bags? This is how hard. This is gonna keep me up all night, okay? Do you see my eye bags?
Prime Johnny A, Prime Robert Jaworski, Prime Jimmy Alapag.
I asked this kay Miko Helili before. He said, basta may Jawo. Jawo all day. But, are we being 90s kids by saying na Jawo just on rep?
We'd be more 90s kids if we pick Johnny A over Jawo. And that's what I'm doing. You max Johnny A. Johnny A, Grand Slam champion, led a Grand Slam champion Alaska team. I can't argue against that. I can't.
I think I'd max Jawo. Like a chance to have the face of the PBA on my team, and like who'll do everything, who will kill himself just to get a victory with inferior, but like with lesser teammates. That's the thing. I mean, Johnny A.
Okay, yeah, wait.
Johnny A has had si Coach Frank Elam said this last week na like the only reason why, not the only reason, but a big reason why coaches like Phil Jackson or whatever got championships was not because of the system, but you need players to do that system. And he had, and Coach Tim had Johnny A, Bong Hawkins, Pochuino, Jojo Lastimosa, Jeffrey Carriazo, Kenneth Duremdes, Roddy Santos, all these guys. But Jawo had, whoever was there, he made
it work.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I agree with you. You swayed me. I think Jawo. And this is just by reputation. I mean, we caught Jawo at the very tail end of his career.
I'll go you one step further. Why are we discounting Jimmy Alapag so quickly over Johnny A? He's also won MVPs.
Are you being reverse homer here?
No. I'm serious. Like, he's won MVPs. He's won finals MVPs. He's won multiple championships. He is the hero of Gilas. Why are we so quick to release Jimmy Alapag?
Shut up.
Diba?
Okay, wait. I think we should postpone this discussion till next week when Carlo gets back. No. For now, we max all, but when we get back with Carlo next week, let's break it down.
So teaser?
Yeah.
Teaser,
No. Not full. Hindi naman like buong segment. Pero feeling ko kailangan natin ng
So, ang sure natin is Max Jawo.
So far.
But Johnny A versus...
Abangan next week.
Sige. I want to see na rin what people think.
Yeah.
Would you rather Max? Who would you rather have? Would you rather have a prime Johnny Abarientos or a prime Jimmy Alapag?
Man,
this game's making us question our Alaska fandom, and that's the scariest thing ever. We want to shout out pala one of our friends from FTF, si Nika Del Rosario. She said, FTS is underrated. More people should watch. You're fun to watch even if you are #Mamaru.
Oh, Mamaru talaga kami. OA rated kami sa pagkamamaru.
Sobrang OA rated natin.
Sobrang rated kami sa pagkamamaru.
Hindi. Underrated tayo sa pagkamamaru.
Yeah.
Kasi sobrang mamaru natin.
Yeah.
You guys should not be taking us seriously. But if you are, and if you're watching, we appreciate it anyway. That's gonna do it for this episode of From the Stands. Again, maraming salamat sa pagsuporta sa show. Thank you very much for checking out the show.
Yes, panalo Ginebra! Sorry. Ngayon ko lang nalaman.
Jeez.
Sorry. 1 win! Needed 47 points from Orlando Johnson, but damn, yeah. Woo!
How many points what was the final score?
105-98. Orlando Johnson scored half of whatever Kia scored.
Almost half, almost half. You have a good import.
Crazy awesome.
And you just gave me a heart attack. Congratulations. Okay, follow me. Well, if you want to. Chuck_Araneta. If you want to follow him at Paul_Bustamante, and you're probably already following It's Me, the Real Carlo P. Verified. Alright? That's gonna do it for this episode of From the Stands. On behalf of Paulo Bustamante, on behalf of Carlo Pamintuan, my name is Chuck Araneta, and we will see you next week for another episode of From the Stands. Peace!
The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.